Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4, or Chapter 11, whichever you prefer, The Siege. And this episode was directed by Carl Weathers, who plays Grief Karga on the show. And look, I thought this was a really great episode. At first, I was a little worried about it because of how it starts, thinking, oh, is this going to be a side mission episode again? Because we already got the first two as side missions with a little tease of Boba in episode one. I felt like the last episode really gave us some really interesting, cool stuff with Bo Katan appearing in the previous episode. So I was hoping they would give us a little bit more stuff. I wasn't expecting Ahsoka Tano because I knew a lot of people are already putting two and two together, thinking that since Dave Filoni is directing episode 5 and Clone Wars and Rebels was his baby, which includes Ahsoka Tano, that he would probably be the one to bring Ahsoka Tano to live action for the first time. So I wasn't expecting her in this episode, but from what we got in this episode was pretty cool. So basically, we start off the episode with what I was expecting. The ship isn't really working properly, so he needs to go somewhere to fix his ship. Where does he go? He goes to Navarro, the planet from the very first episode, the first 3 episodes of season 1, and meets Grief Karga and Cara Dune. Once again, both of them reunite with the Mando, and it's pretty cool seeing those two characters again. I really did like in the beginning, before he landed on the planet, though, with him and Baby Yoda fixing the ship a little bit, trying to fix it, and him trying to tell Baby Yoda, okay, put that wire there and put that wire there, and Baby Yoda, he's probably not too experienced and shouldn't really be doing that, but the Mando has no other choice. He's the only little thing that can fit in there. So it was funny seeing that. The baby, once again, gets a lot of really cute, funny moments throughout the episode. But once he gets to the planet, he sees how Navarro has changed itself. It's no longer this criminal organization that's going on there, or how we saw it before. Now they even have a school where they're teaching kids, educating kids and stuff like that. So it was really cool seeing a new aspect of that planet. And of course, Cara and Grief tell Mando, "Hey, look, we just need to get rid of this location where the Empire is hiding. Will you help us?" And Mando agrees. So while the ship is being fixed, Mando goes on this mission. Obviously, they leave Baby Yoda behind because it's not safe, which makes sense. I'm glad they're starting to do things where, leave the baby here because this is not a safe mission for the baby to come with us on. So he leaves him in the school, which, once again, there's a little funny moment between him and a kid where he wants the cookie, or it was some sort of yeah, it was like a cookie or something. And the kid was like, no. And I was like, why is this kid being an asshole to Baby Yoda? But Baby Yoda finally uses the Force and grabs it for himself and eats it. I thought that was a little funny, cute moment. But then the real action begins when Grief, Mando, and Cara go on this mission to this outer place, I guess, where it kind of reminded me a little bit of... what's the place where Vader was born? Mustafar. Because there was a little bit of lava, right, in that area. That's what they even said. Not too much, not like exactly like Mustafar, but it kind of reminded me of that, and maybe for good reason too, because they go to this place. First, they bring back that fish head guy from episode 1. I don't remember what the character's name was. But they get him. He comes back, and I thought he was a fun little character to have around again. I didn't think we'd ever see that character again, but I guess this episode shows us that anybody can return. So they go on this little mission, and when they get there, they break in and they find this laboratory yeah, I guess it's a laboratory kind of thing where it looks like they have these bodies inside. And the guy who had the clone badge on him back in season one, that doctor, he's back and he tries to communicate to Moff Gideon, which allows Mando to find out that Moff Gideon is alive. And he thinks at first, is this message like a pre-recorded message? And they said no, it's a message from 3 days ago. So that's how Mando now knows that Moff Gideon is alive, because he didn't find out in the previous episode with Bo-Katan. Obviously, this is all leading, I think, to the finale where Bo-Katan is going to have to team up with Mando again. So it was in that same scene, though, he learns a little bit about what they want Baby Yoda for, to abstract some midichlorians and use it for whatever they are building, whatever they're making, right? Which obviously a lot of people are already talking, and I was thinking this myself. So is this going to link up to Snoke, or Snoke from the sequel trilogy where Andy Serkis played him, and how Emperor Palpatine manages to come back? It looks like that's what they are playing with here, because then even later on in the episode, when when Moff Gideon asks him, so did you put the tracker on the ship or something, and they're like, yeah, and he tells one of the generals, good, you will be rewarded in this new era of the Empire, which obviously will become the First Order. Yeah, a lot of that was really cool, man. I really like the setups for what's to come down the road for the Empire, and it looks like that will be the story arc moving forward to later seasons, because we know that there's more seasons coming, of course. For sure, there's going to be like four seasons in total, for sure. I think Jon Favreau even confirmed that. So then once Mando realizes that Baby Yoda is in danger, he rushes off to go and rescue him, and we get this really cool action sequence. And that was really cool, seeing all of that action. On the grand scope of things, I forget sometimes that this is a TV series, and then when it's over in half an hour, I'm like, oh shit, that's right, man. This is not a movie, and it can't go on longer, and it sucks. I wish this episode in particular, and the last episode, I wish were a little bit longer. Like, give us 45 minutes, something like that would be more reasonable. But it gets annoying when you realize how short the episodes are. But we got this really cool action sequence, and especially when Mando comes towards the end and blows up those TIE fighters. That was really cool. And then we get this big reveal at the end after Mando leaves. We see Moff Gideon, like I said, and he reveals this room that has a bunch of some people were saying they're like shadow troopers. They looked like Darth Vader helmets to me. I don't know, maybe it was hard for me to see, and I saw this very early in the morning. Maybe I have to rewatch it again. They look like Darth Vader helmets to me, and I got the impression that maybe they were cloning Vader. I don't know. But maybe they are. Maybe they are building like shadow troopers or whatever kind of stormtroopers they're building. Maybe they are building an army and hoping to put like force powers into them. Many people thought Moff Gideon wanted to use force powers for himself, but maybe he wants an army full of force users. So I mean, that is a possibility to me as well. Maybe he's making an army of Darth Vaders, because they look like Darth Vader helmets to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have to go online and check right after this. People are calling me an idiot right now. David, Vader clones? You never know. People might have been looked up to Vader in a very high way. So maybe somebody thought, hey, you know what? Instead of one Darth Vader, why don't we bring a whole bunch of them? I could be totally be wrong about this. Maybe they weren't Vader helmets. Maybe they were just regular trooper helmets that were black, but they look like Vader helmets to me. So with that being said, guys, that's all I have to say about this. I thought it was a fantastic episode. I had a great time. At first, I was like a little this is gonna be a filler. But then once they hit the mark where Mando's in the lab, I was like, holy shit, what are they saying here? What's going on here? Is this leading up to like Snoke or something? That's where I was like, okay, they're giving us some information here that's important for down the road. So for that, I bumped my point. It would have been a regular 8 out of 10 episode for me, but I punched it up to an 8.5 out of 10. So not again, not my favorite episode, but definitely one of the stronger episodes of the series. I'm really enjoying everything so far from this season. This season has been, I would say, it's already stronger than the first season, and we're only 4 episodes in. But comparing it to the first 4 episodes of season one, I would say episode 4 of season one is where it started showing some the weakness in the legs for me a little bit. So far, all 4 episodes we've gotten this season have been really solid episodes. So even the second episode, which was the Frog Lady episode, even that episode was a pretty strong episode. Even though that was probably my least favorite so far, definitely better than some of the weakest episodes of season one. So fantastic episode. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka Tano next week because you know she's coming next week. Yeah, with that being said, guys, comment below. Tell me your thoughts on this episode of The Mandalorian. What did you think? Do you have any theories? I'm always looking forward to that. And please, yes, please comment and like, because apparently there's an algorithm on YouTube that if people comment and like on videos, it helps spread the video around somehow. I don't know exactly how that works. I don't understand YouTube sometimes. People should just find my freaking video and that's it. But I guess it's I don't know, tied into different things. People, I don't care. With that being said, until next time, take care.